Until recently, there's been one American political fact as sure and predictable as the frozen Kansas winter. That is that evangelical Protestants have backed the Republican Party, handed it its greatest victories and planned more to come. Now, quite suddenly, it seems that at churches like this one, they've given up.
Justin Webb, the BBC's North America editor. Let's start with you.
Someone said recently that the American brand had run out of steam around the world. I think 2008, with the presidential election and the huge amount of interest that there's going to be in America, is the year that turns out not to be the case. I think there will be a resurgence of interest in and affection for America. In fact, I think by the end of 2008, it will once again be cool to be a Yank.
That these are naked capitalists and they are buying into capitalism very big time. So no, I don't believe in decoupling.
They're also incredibly coupled in this way that a quarter, I think more than a quarter now, of all Chinese exports are from companies that are actually owned by American corporations. So there is this extraordinary sort of circular linking of China, certainly into the US economic system, that the sort of shrill cries of protectionism that you occasionally hear in America, you will hear during the course of the election, let's just cut off from China and they should revalue and all the rest of it. It's a much more subtle and complex and interlinked picture.
And the other thing, too, is this, if the story of 2007...
Our North America editor, Justin Webb, is in Iowa, and we can join him now.
That's right, Hugh. This is, in a sense, the beginning of the end of the Bush presidency, but much more important than that, it is the start of the process of finding out who will replace him. Americans are turning their attention now and their voting power to who should come next. The Iowa caucuses are a way of keeping that decision focused, grounded, in real communities, amongst real people whose views really count. We went to the home of Dick Schellenberg. He's a Democrat, and around 20 of his Democratic friends will gather in his sitting room at 7 sharp tomorrow night and argue the toss before making their official choices.
We haven't lost any neighbors yet over it, but
so you can disagree but then make up later?
Disagree and make up later, yes.
So who will emerge victorious from this sitting room and others like it? Who will get the homespun nod? One of the greatest chapters of colonial history came to an end tonight. Hong Kong, the last significant part of what was the British Empire, was reunited with China. In the end, the handover went smoothly, with both sides sounding conciliatory notes. Tony Blair called for a strong and stable relationship between Britain and China. The Chinese president promised Hong Kong would remain free and invited Mr. Blair to visit China. Mr. Blair has accepted and is likely to go next year. At the end of an evening of spectacular events, the British and Hong Kong flags were lowered and the Chinese flag raised. An advance group of Chinese troops was already on its way into Hong Kong. The main body will follow later tonight. Our Asia correspondent, Fergal Keane, reports.
May we ourselves...
Back at the megachurch in town, they dismissed that view as yesterday's thinking.
Personally, I feel like when you mix religion and politics, you get politics, if you know what I mean.
This dispute is a surprise, but if Wichita's evangelical Christians really do desert the Republicans in 2008, it'll be more than that. It'll be a revolution. Justin Webb, BBC News, Wichita, Kansas.